Welcome to Stories from the Center of the Universe, the podcast about the human experience.
All right, arguably we are in the best weekend for the NFL, especially if you're a fantasy football keeper league kind of person like Zach is. Pretty exciting stuff. Zach, I can't see you now because you are looking up stuff on your phone. Pretty excited to see the first four picks for the Buccaneers. Zach, you and I were just talking about before we started recording. But before we get into the Bucs, Jack Doyle is probably a top 20 fan of Pittsburgh. He's a top 3 fan of Pittsburgh out of the state of Pennsylvania. Rob is probably top 100 maybe, and then within Virginia, top 10 Steelers fans. I mean, you guys really love the Steelers, and I root for the Steelers. In their division, I definitely root for them. I want to see them do well. I love the culture of the place. I think time may be passing them by, though. And so what happened at pick 20 through 23, I can't wait to get y'all's reaction, but I'm not going to get it right now. We're going to bore you with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and how they're doing in the draft so far. So, Zach, give us all an update.
Yeah, in my unbiased opinion, I think Tampa got the steal of the draft in the first round.
Did you say biased or unbiased?
Unbiased.
No, you're completely biased with this commentary. But go ahead.
All right, sure. Ruben Bain Jr., in my opinion, is a top 5 player, and he fell all the way to 15 for us. And not only that, he's at a position of need. He's a freak athlete. The only reason he fell, to my knowledge, is he's got short arms, and he had that car crash incident that just came out a couple weeks ago. But apparently teams have known about it since it happened. He's a ridiculous athlete. If you watch his plays, his tape, he's quick, he's elusive, he's a power rusher, but he still has some finesse type moves. I'm extremely excited about him. And even if he doesn't generate sacks, he still generates pressure, which was sorely missed last season for almost every play. We gave way too much time to quarterbacks last year, so I'm really excited. We got a run-stopping linebacker, Josiah Trotter, in the second. His brother plays for the Eagles. His dad was in the NFL. He's not so great in pass coverage from what I've heard, but he's a great run-stopping linebacker, especially after the retirement of Lavonte David. I'm really pleased with that. We got Ted Hurst in the third, receiver, freak athlete. He had a 9.9 relative athletic score out of 10. So he's a ridiculous athlete. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he's really fast. He's big. He's out of Georgia State, so a smaller school, but what were you going to say?
I was surprised we didn't take Sadiq with the 15th pick, but with Bain sitting there, you almost had to take Bain. But you're saying this guy is as athletic as Sadiq, but maybe not quite as big?
Yeah, and he's a receiver instead of a tight end. And some people think Sadiq is more of like an outside tight end. He's a purely receiving tight end. He's a little smaller for a tight end, Sadiq is. He's 6'3", 240 maybe. But yeah, 2 freak athletes. And I'm okay with passing off Sadiq. I don't think we needed him. And Light, I think, is a little scarred from the
O.J. Howard.
Yeah, O.J. Howard pick, yeah.
The worst draft pick we've ever had, especially first round worst pick. Maybe the second round was the worst pick, but
yeah, that was rough. And we just recently, like an hour ago, picked up Keontae Scott, a corner from Miami. So Ruben Bain's teammate. I don't know too much about him other than I've seen a lot of people say it was a great pick. I think he would have gone higher if he were a little younger. I think he's 24 or 25 right now. But I'm still happy. I mean, we addressed 3 positions of need in the first 4 rounds. So
yeah, I wanted our first 3 picks to be every level of the defense. So, but specifically D-line, we needed an edge rusher. We needed a middle linebacker because we're going to miss Lavonte David, even though he had slowed down the last couple of seasons. And then, we desperately need cornerbacks. So, and if we got a 9.9 out of 10 at a wide receiver, I guess we'll take that. I still think we have a solid receiving core without that player, but we'll take it. All right, cool. Hey, Jack, don't talk about the Steelers yet. But what are your insights into what you've seen the last couple of days in the draft? Overall?
I really like the Giants picks. I'm not surprised that they went the route that they went. I mean, with Arvell Reese falling to 5, it's almost as if you have to take him. And then knowing Harbaugh, of course, he's going to want to set up the run game. So that's why I believe that they went with tackle there. I think the Cowboys have surprisingly had a really, really good draft with the picks that they've had, and they've been able to move around the draft a little bit so that they can gain some draft capital back. And then, I mean, the Jets have had a sneaky draft, but they don't really develop their players, so I don't like talking about them much. And then, I don't know, I think Miami's making some good picks under their new leadership there, so that's kind of my takeaway from that draft as a whole right now.
Yeah, fair enough. The Giants, they were making when Reese fell to the Giants at 5 overall, immediately stories were coming out on the internet about the vaunted front four from the Giants back in the day when Lawrence Taylor was arguably the best player in the league every year he suited up, and there were some other studs, linemen and linebackers. Their front seven was ridiculous, and it looks like it's 2.0 with the drafting of Arvell Reese. Rob, without talking about the Steelers, any thoughts you had from the last couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, just to carry on your point right there, one of the commentators made a point after Arvell got drafted, and it said, he basically said, all right, whoever the defensive coordinator is for the Giant, now you're on the clock, because apparently he is with Arvell now, and what they already had, they apparently have like an embarrassment of riches on that, like edge linebacker, combo position or whatever. So,
yep.
We were texting about it a little bit. I guess my biggest surprise of the first round is Ty Simpson going to the Rams. I do like the fact that the Rams were better than the Falcons, a better organization, and they actually let brain freeze, quarterback for the Rams. Stafford, no, before they picked Simpson. We were texting. I was happy because that means the Steelers weren't going to draft him, so that was fun. So I was glad that he was going there, but just a surprise he went at 13. But they clearly think that, Stafford is older, so I think they think if he can study under him for a couple years, then maybe he might be the person eventually. So surprise there. Like Jack said, impressed with Dolphins, Cowboys, on their picks. Trying to think. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. Yep.
Yeah, what I saw about Simpson, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, but apparently Simpson's dad is friends with the GM for the Rams. I don't think Simpson is a generational talent. I think the Rams. I guess the Rams were worried they were going to have a good season in 2026, end up with a 28th to 32nd draft pick next year, and all those QBs for next year's class weren't going to be available. And so you take a chance on Simpson now, I guess. Doesn't seem like a top 13 kind of quarterback, but the Rams certainly know what they're doing, especially with McVay as the head coach.
Yeah, I don't think he's got. What's he got? 15 games or something. He just doesn't have a lot to look at. But like you said, that's why they're drafting people and we're not. I'm sure they see something in him, and if there's a friendship thing there, that's one thing. But I don't think they would make that pick unless they actually thought he was, worth it. So in some form or fashion. So I hear you, and I agree with you.
Somebody was making the point that Simpson's, to your point, only played 15 games, and my wife is just got home from lunch and she's being silly right now. Only played 15 games, and then if Stafford plays at least 2 more seasons, that's another 34 games at a minimum, plus maybe some playoff time that he's going to miss. So from 21 to 27, those years, he's going to start 15 games. Wow, and that's your 13th overall pick.
Yeah.
There's such thing as development. And look, if they try to develop him for 2 full seasons. Okay, great, but the real development happens in games.
In games, yeah, I agree with you. There's nothing like game experience, but I mean, he's going to be learning from a legend, and and you mentioned McVay is as good as it gets right now, so he'll be learning from the right people. It's just, and I'm sure he'll get a lot of reps, in practices and stuff, and preseasons and blah blah blah. But yeah, like I totally agree with you on that. There's nothing like obviously real game experience.
Yeah, I don't remember what state in the Union McVay is from, but McVay was the state player of the year for football his senior year.
Georgia.
And it's Georgia. And
you know who he won that over?
That's why I bring it up.
Yeah.
Maybe probably a 10 out of 10 athletically. He probably scored a 10 out of 10. Megatron didn't win state player of the year. Sean McVay
my
did.
gosh. No way. That's crazy.
That should still be a controversy because it doesn't make any sense.
That's a great trivia question too. I love that.
All right, Bobby is going to be joining us in a couple minutes, I hope. Does everybody have a question chambered? Ready to go?
Yes.
Sure.
Jack, are you ready?
No, I'm not.
All right, good. I'm not ready either. I'm not going to come up with one until it's time for me to ask one, and I'll just completely make something up on the spot. By the way, it can be any topic, literally any topic. All right, so let's go to the Steelers. And Jack, I want to start with your reaction because you are one of the most studied Pittsburgh Steeler guys out there. Tell us what happened, and then I'd love to get your reaction to it.
Well, the Eagles jumped the Steelers, and I guess the Steelers were on the phone before the Eagles jumped them with Mekhi Lemon, and then the Eagles ended up drafting him. So that's whatever. I mean, that happens all the time. It's not like this. It was the first time it's ever happened to Steelers, and it won't be the last. But I thought our replacement pick for everything that just happened, I thought was terrible. I just he wasn't super high on draft boards, and I don't know what made us want to go that route with him. I will say I do think we've recovered somewhat decent in the draft. I like our second round pick with Jeremy Bernard, and then just building up depth in other places. But I was not pleased to stay up and watch him watch the Steelers draft him.
Yeah, the way it played to me was I would imagine in draft rooms, like teams that we know are good. We'll go back to the Rams. The Rams have probably somebody at each position as an expert on cornerbacks or middle linebackers or whatever it is. And so, hey, linebacker expert, you have a top 20, right? And you know everything that you need to know about them. If something doesn't work out because somebody jumped ahead of you, right, as you're talking to the guy who you obviously thought you were going to get, you've got to still have 8 minutes, right? They had 8 minutes to get their act together. And to your terrible pick comment, it just seemed like the draft room in the one round that you really want to have your stuff together, they seem to have slipped a little bit. Am I wrong, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, and I'm certainly definitely not as studied as Jack. But I've never heard of this guy, and when this was going on, we were texting a little bit more, and I tried to look at the positives. I try to rely on my faith in the Steelers, but I am definitely questioning a little bit. I do like his size, and apparently he had a great Senior Bowl, so he played against good competition there. But yeah, so I guess I'm just in the mode of I really hope that he works out. And then I do agree with Jack. I think overall, we've recovered very well in our picks. I'm still questioning our first pick in the third round. But other than that, I think we have recovered well. I think we're filling in some needs. Yeah, and I guess going back to the whole other thing, I forget who we went to. It might have been the Lions. For whatever reason, I really like Freeling, and I was really hoping we get him if we went, offensive line. So when he left, and then the whole thing with, I mean, I really hate the Eagles even more than I used to now. So I just, so that just sucked because Mekhi Lemon would have been an incredible addition to DK and Pittman on our receiving staff. So
Yeah,
receiving
y'all would
personnel.
have had a legitimate receiving core for the first time in a while.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah,
So
was
I
offensive tackle,
really do like the. As more I read about him, I really do like the kid from Alabama, though, and that's hard for me to say coming from Alabama, but I really do like him.
was offensive tackle a need coming into this draft? The Steelers.
Yeah. Yes, right, Jack. I mean, offensive
Yeah,
tackles are
it was a big
it's pretty much
need
a need for us. Yeah.
every year at this point.
Offensive line, yeah.
Yeah, and we still don't know anything more about Rodgers, do we?
No, not yet.
Now we probably won't know until like June or July at this point, or like right before camp starts up again.
I am excited though. Will Howard has been named by McCarthy number 1 in minicamp, so that means when Rodgers comes back, he'll be number 2. So I'm excited about that.
You think he won't be number 1 when he comes back?
If Rodgers comes back, Rodgers will play. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
Otherwise, he wouldn't come back, right?
I think, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think so. But I'm just glad that they're finally getting off the Rudolph kick or whatever, and they're going to make Will the number 2. That means he'll get a lot of reps in preseason, and then clearly if something happens to Rodgers, he did miss the 1 game last year, so I just want to see the kid have a chance. That's my main thing. I think he's got the pedigree and I think he's got the skills, but we need to see it, and I just want him to get his chance. So I'm happy with that part at least.
Yeah, y'all told me a few weeks ago he was 6'6". I didn't realize he was that tall.
Yeah, he's basically almost a Ben Roethlisberger again. He's maybe, what is he, Jack? Maybe 10 pounds less, but he's a big boy.
Yeah, he's around the same.
Hey, pivoting to you, Zach. Insights beyond the Bucs from you, or thoughts
on the draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jack was saying, the Giants had a good draft. The Cowboys had a really good pick with Caleb Downs at 10. He should have gone earlier. I'm surprised I don't know, like Washington didn't take him at 7. He's a top 3 player in this draft, and because he's safety and positional value and all that, he fell. But he's probably the most surefire thing in the draft, outside of maybe like David Bailey. But even still, it's probably Caleb Downs. The Bears.
Hold on, Zach. Hold on. So the Commanders took Sonny Styles. So Rob and Jack, as Ohio State fans, you guys know Styles and Downs really well. Did Washington and Dallas make the right picks?
Dallas definitely made the right pick. There was only a 12% chance of Downs still being there at number 11, so they got a frickin' steal at 11. And but no, I'm very satisfied with. I think the Commanders filled a need with Sonny, and he is. I mean, I saw something with him. It said. I'm not going to be able to remember them all. You mentioned him earlier. Speed of Megatron, 3 pounds lighter than Derrick Henry, same height as. So I mean, they named like 5 things, and it was all like major studs, and they were like, "That's Sonny Styles in a nutshell." Like his God darn, I'm having brain freeze today. The testing.
You're also driving, which you should be focused on that too. That's all good. Hey, Rob, I'm going to give you a heads up, and it doesn't have to be you. It can be Zach or Jack. But I'm going to walk away to go drag Bobby over here because Bobby's he's been distracted or something's happened. But I'm going to get him on video. So I'm being told real-time update that he's watering the garden. And now he's coming in the house because the dogs are barking. All right, Zach, keep going with your thoughts on the draft.
One pick I really liked was it was 25, I think. The Bears, Dylan Thieneman from Oregon. He's a safety. He's a top 10 to 15 player on a lot of people's boards, and him falling to 25. Most people didn't think he would fall past, I think it was 18 to the Vikings, because that's a position of need for them, and he's a really good player. But the Bears got him. The Bears have been knocking most drafts out of the park the last few years. But yeah,
So-
there was one more pick that I was thinking of, but I can't remember it right now.
I like that one too, Zach. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Hi, Lise.
So our listeners, all 12 of you, can't see who's on my on my camera, but it's my
See
wife,
Lisa
Zach
and
Tom,
Bobby.
and the nearly world famous Bobby Malone has joined us. We are in
That's right.
Middlesex County at the moment, and I get to see Bobby almost every weekend. All right, so it's now time for questions for Bobby. Jack, you and I were not prepared. We didn't have good questions ready. Are you ready to ask a question, Jack?
I'm going to play off what the rest of y'all say.
All right, I like it. All right, so who wants to go first? Rob or Zach?
I got one. All right. Why do you think Dallas is going to win the Super Bowl this year?
That's a great question.
Well, I think probably Dak. You know, we probably had the best quarterback in the NFL.
By the way, Bobby said we can't win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott. He literally said that earlier today.
Well, I'm making
Today?
something up. So I don't know if it's right now when I talk to him. But that would be my expectation.
So Dak Prescott is the reason y'all are going to win a Super Bowl. Zach, do you think that's a good enough answer? Or do you want to press him some more?
I think I need a little more than that to be convinced.
Well, you got to think too. Even a blind squirrel could find a nut every now and then. So maybe this is his year. You know.
That's a
Okay,
lot. That's a lot of faith in your team there, Bobby.
Well,
That was
I mean,
blind squirrel.
statistically, you know, he could very well be a Super Bowl quarterback.
That analogy made me a believer, I think.
That's right. That's right.
You've heard that analogy before, right?
Yeah.
Zach? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack, do you want to play off that with a question?
Yeah. If you've been tracking the draft, how do you feel that Dallas has done up to this point?
He has
I
no
have
clue.
Not been tracking the draft. I've been working right steady. So
So
yeah, I have not been tracking the draft.
you
I
got
believe
a
you said
stud.
We got a
You got a stud in the first round.
safety.
He's a safety, right?
Yeah.
Downs.
Yeah, he's a safety.
Yeah.
And Lord
Hey,
knows we need some
You're
corners
messing
at
with
safety.
you're messing with my question.
Well, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask him. As Zach said earlier, Bobby, you got a top 3 to 5 player on most boards at number 11, and he's a game changer. Do you know what school he came from? What college? What university?
Ohio State, baby. Well, through
You're
Ohio
darn right,
State.
baby.
Okay.
You're getting a stud.
So wait a minute, your question is just for Bobby to guess what school he went to?
No. My question was who only had a 12% chance of still being on the board there, and who did he get? But he wouldn't have known that, and then y'all said the name. So anyway, I just had to pivot.
Oh, I knew that. I knew that.
All right, now look, I'm going to ask a serious
And
non-football
wait.
question.
Hold on, real quick.
ahead.
I gotta. Were you at the river on Thursday night, Bobby?
Yes, I was.
Okay. What kind of work were you doing at 8:00 on Thursday night?
He's watching the Braves.
Braves, man. Yes, sir.
The NFL draft happens once a year. The Braves play 162 games.
Right.
I'm just giving you crap.
Bobby's a real Braves fan. He loves
I
the
know
Braves.
he is. I'm proud of him.
Did y'all see our little picture that started the other night? First pitch was a home run, but he won the game. It looked really good. Richie, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but I saw the
Looked
video.
really good.
Dad and Mom are in the stands. It's this kid's first pitch in the major leagues, and Dad is crying. He's just so happy in that moment that his son has made it to the major leagues, and he got rocked on the first pitch.
Damn.
Yeah.
But he did get the win and pitched very well. I mean, he has a curveball I could probably not hit. So,
And Bobby can hit everybody else's curveball.
Yeah.
right.
I was gonna say that's saying something right there.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? I'm going to pivot hard away from football and say, Bobby, and I'm looking for a serious answer here, Bobby. If you were 24 years old and you had an extra $100 every couple of weeks, what would you do with it?
I would definitely probably put it in a Roth IRA.
Oh boy.
But then once my Roth, I would put it in a Roth IRA.
And then
Just a couple $100.
All
If
right.
I had $500 extra a
All right.
month,
Okay. 500. Let's
I'd
go with 500.
definitely buy a rental property.
A rental. So buy a place that you can rent out to other
Right.
people.
You got to finance the whole thing. Doesn't matter.
Would
But here's what I would do: I would lengthen my term of the loan and take the $500 out of my pocket if I had to shorten the loan up.
So you don't it sooner.
Zach and
Y'all
Jack,
got-
are y'all listening?
I'm listening.
Because it's money you want to invest anyway. There's nowhere to invest it because if you could take a 30-year note and put an extra $500 a month from it to it and squeeze it down to 10 years, in 10 years the house is paid for. So then you got to calculate how long it would take me to get my $500 a month back. Not very long.
Yeah.
In receiving rents. You also have a lot of leverage at that point.
Describe.
So you just leverage the house and go buy another one. It's cash sitting still. That's what it is.
So basically the 2 R's: Roth and real estate,
Yes.
and then pay it down pretty darn
Fast as
quickly.
you can, because why save somewhere else when you can be paying that house down, and in the end you will make a lot more money. But I still
Got it.
believe in fully funding the Roth. It's the only free money the government's going to give you.
So maximize your distribution to
And
the
you would
Roth.
maximize your traditional IRA if you're getting a match, but only up to the match. Don't put any more in it. Then you switch to the Roth. So if
Okay.
they're matching 4%, if you put in 4, but you can put in 12, only do the 4. Put the other 8 into the Roth.
If that's under the maximum,
Right. Only put in what they're matching.
and anything beyond that, start
Put it
thinking
to
about
your
real
Roth.
estate. Well, and then think about real estate after.
Yeah,
the
think
Roth.
about real estate.
But y'all didn't expect such a powerful answer, did you?
No, I wasn't expecting to get
Bobby's got
financial
more
advice today.
I've been around Bobby more than you guys have. Bobby has a lot of wisdom.
Oh,
He's just not going to run on and on about it. All right. Any shots y'all want to take at the Cowboys before we go?
I mean, I can't really take any because they had a good draft this weekend.
yeah.
But Dak is still their quarterback.
That's
And
true.
we all know that one of the biggest problems probably with Dallas possibly is the owner. So there you go.
There's no question.
Yeah.
There's no question. All right, Jack, try to come back in and oh, come on. My computer.
I'll say I'm sad that I had to look it up because I was actually thinking about calling him and telling him congrats on getting Caleb Downs, but my Hall of Fame PH guy from last year that was the defensive pass coordinator for Dallas last year. Yeah, he's no longer with them. He got fired.
The Patrick Henry
So-
guy?
Yeah, he's now with the Chiefs.
Wow,
So
crazy.
he's the safeties coach with the Chiefs. So he went from a team that that I respect because of Bobby Malone and to one of my most hated teams. And,
All right.
I didn't even think them trading up for that Mansour kid was that good a pick. So
All right. Final thoughts from everybody. They can be about the draft. They can be about the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Bucks, or about whatever. But we'll have this segment a few more times. Questions for Bobby. I think it's going to be very popular. I think you're going to see a lot on social media about questions for Bobby. Anyway, final thoughts, Jack?
Yeah, I really like Jeremiah Love as a player. I think he's going to be a great NFL player. I have no idea what the Cardinals are doing in this draft because they only have 7 picks, and they definitely reached, and they could have fallen back a couple of more spots and gotten more draft capital.
Yeah, there's a reason they are perennially really bad. Other than that, Kurt Warner Super Bowl loss to the Steelers. Yeah, that's the only time they've been good. I think I can't remember them being like sincerely competitive outside of that time frame. All right, Zach,
Yeah.
final thoughts.
Exactly what Jack just said. Also, I actually really like the Carnell Tate pick. I think a lot of people were surprised by that, but I'm not going to say I thought it was going to happen, but it was in the back of my mind that it could, and I like it a lot. I think getting Cam Ward as much help as you can early on in his career is nothing but beneficial, and I think Carnell Tate's worthy of being drafted 4th overall.
Fair enough. But yeah, there are a lot of people that said that was potentially a reach, but I guess time will tell how these guys.
Yeah,
play.
I mean, if you look at the rest of the board, sure, it's a reach maybe, but I like it personally. I think he fits well with them.
Nice. All right, cool. Rob. We've got.
That saying that, Zach, and I agree with you. What's that?
I'm pivoting to you.
You guys
Final
hear me?
thoughts. Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I was going to say I agree because he was actually the fourth of the 4 players from Ohio State that was going to be picked in most draft boards. But somebody called it right before they said it. They said, like, they're either going to go defense or they're going to get help for Cam Ward, and sure enough, there's got help for Cam Ward. So I really like that pick too. I'm just looking forward to getting caught up on the draft today a little bit and seeing who picked who and doing a little research. It's been a good draft. Excited. Definitely some surprises. Definitely some question marks. Typical draft, but it's been fun and I'm really enjoying it so far. So, and
All right, cool. Pop.
And I'm gonna now start keeping track, and I think I'll publish we're gonna get back on the book tick here, Gilman, and maybe we'll have a book one day called Questions for Bobby.
I like it. Bobby, any thoughts? Not about the draft, just in general.
Oh, nothing special, but one man doesn't make a football team, and it's all about staying healthy, team as a whole. And I think the game's become very predictable.
Yeah, Bobby and I were talking the other day.
We talked hard about that yesterday.
A lot of teams, about half the teams in the league, are just not that creative on offense or defense. It's a business.
But hopefully it'll be a good season.
Absolutely. All right, cool. Hey, can y'all hang on? I'm going to stop the recording.
Yep.
Oh, hold on. We're not talking smack yet because we're still recording.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts. We'd also really appreciate if you'd rate and review us. You can find us at scodupodcast.com.